Hey, this is Chuck, and you are listening to Fans with Bands, the podcast where we talk to the fans and the bands they dig about life, music, and whatever the hell else we want to talk about. Today on Fans with Bands, we are talking to Detroit punk rocker Screw. Check it out. Hey, this is Chuck with Fans with Bands, and I'm talking with Tommy, Troy, and Bob of the band Screw. How are you guys doing?
Great, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome.
For having us.
Yeah, hell yeah. It's fantastic to have you guys. And you can't hear him because I think he's muted right now, but he may unmute, is Erick Buchholz, who is one of the best photographers in Detroit.
Yes.
I know he's followed you guys, and it's fantastic, to see you guys that are out, jamming and playing at all the great, venues in Detroit. But then Erick's photos just capture so much of the moment. You almost feel like you're there. So I got to give a shout out to Erick, who's a fan and a fantastic photographer.
Photo punk's the best.
He's the photo punk, man.
Yeah.
And a great friend of ours.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool. I had the pleasure of meeting him at Fuzz Fest one year. And that was like, I'd heard of him and seen his pictures and was like in awe. And then I got to meet him. I'm like, there he is, the legendary photo punk. So
There he is.
Yeah.
The one and only.
So
Go ahead.
I know this year's been like super tough because it's been hard for anybody to play shows until recently. And you guys just had that show. I think, Tommy, it was for your birthday. How was that? How was it to get back on stage and do shows with a big crowd and have everybody like just going ape shit?
It was great. The actual, it was sold out.
Nice.
So really killer. And yeah, it was fantastic.
So much.
We're stage whores. So for me personally, I love being on stage. The rehearsal and all that stuff. That's the, you gotta put that time in, but
yeah,
we love live shows.
Awesome.
What's funny about playing shows again is like you go I'm always my worst critic, number one, and number two, I always think the worst, so I can always expect better than the worst, so I can be happy, right? So it's funny because like every show we've done now, since we came back, which it's no different.
Mm-hmm.
Like we always pack shows, we always have a great crowd,
Yeah.
but I expected 10 people to be at our shows and it's packed. Like people are afraid of coronavirus, not happening. It was packed.
Yeah, well,
So, it
over.
amazes me, like the thought of reality and what my subconscious was thinking was like, it's blowing me away.
Yeah.
I absolutely enjoy every bit of it.
Awesome. So did you feel, I personally I've been to one show. I went to a couple like social distance shows last summer, which were okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was great to see some music, but it wasn't nearly the same. And I went to a show, and it was outside again, but it was in April. But it was almost emotional to be there with some folks that I hadn't seen in a while, like a year and a half. Did you guys have that same kind of like emotional feeling when you're getting up, being on stage and seeing a bunch of people you may have not seen for number of months?
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, definitely.
Much fun.
yeah, so we have some good friends and fans and family. They're real supportive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we still have a few friends that we haven't been able to see because of health issues and things of that nature.
Yep.
But we're looking forward to seeing them at a show soon because, it's kind of like, as Cheeseballs sounds, it's like one big family.
Yeah.
And we all get together, everybody watches the back and just have a blast with our people.
Right.
And, or we're there. I don't know if it's a correct term, our people, but, they're friends, I think, more than fans most of the time. So,
Yeah. Yeah. And you guys do seem to have like a really close relationship with everybody that comes out to see you. It seems like everyone there is, like you said, a friend, family member, even though, you may only see them like a couple times a year when they come out to that one show. What do you think it is about your music, your band that draws people in and makes them feel that community sense?
That's a good question.
I think I know what it is. I think it's because all of us have done this for so long. We're not doing this to be a rock star no more. This is about having fun, because the people are what really make it for us. You know what I mean? We play our music because we love it. We write songs because we really have passion for the things that we write, but the people just bring it. And that's our riches.
Awesome.
It's not a bad place to be in. When you can draw a crowd. I mean, we don't want to sit here arrogant in any way, but it's a good place to be when you have a decent name recognition.
Yep.
Along with other bands in town, most club owners we get along with, and you can't buy that. You know what I mean? That's that we put some hard work into that, and it's working. So
You come to a screw show, you're gonna get punched in the face.
musically,
Punch in the face.
And
who knows?
Most of our fans love to get punched in the face. They'll tell you that.
That's true.
Is that on a
I ain't
t-shirt?
lying.
Come get punched in the face. Screw it.
Right.
Hey,
Yes, correct.
hey, Kevin.
Kevin just popped in. He's here.
How's it going?
You got to.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, do I?
Yeah. Well, no, not really. I don't know. We're just
We'll put you on video.
Just hold up.
to my gear.
Hey, Kevin.
There he is.
How's it going, man?
We're actually rehearsing tonight, Chuck. So
Oh, cool.
I don't want to jump ahead of the interview here, but we have a show coming up in a couple of weeks in Indianapolis, the Melody Inn.
Yeah.
And that's always a very fun place to go play at, and we're always stoked to go play there.
Very
People,
cool.
Yeah, good fans there too.
Yeah. So speaking of because you're talking about we were talking about what draws your fans and what it is about the band. How do you think the Detroit scene compares to other scenes you've been in, like say Indy or Chicago or any of those other cities you guys have gone out to?
well, Detroit's Detroit. We're all Detroit boys.
Right.
That's our hometown, and I think it compares well. But I would just say there's only one Detroit. There's a lot. I feel there's probably a lot more bands in Detroit, and that's not knocking any other town, or any bands, but for that matter. But yeah, I don't know. It's Detroit is Detroit. Like when you go down and play PJ's Lager House, there's nothing like it.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. So
Nice. And do you? It's probably not fair to ask, but is there particular venues in Detroit that you feel are like really representative of the town?
Yeah, Lager House.
Halls, the new Dodge, Hamtramck is, we have a song on our CD called Polish Punk.
Yes.
We're real, we're all about the Hamtramck scene.
Yep.
And, there's a lot of good bars, even over Road Rangers. That's a cool venue to play.
Yeah.
The people, it's just I don't know that there's very many venues, and if I know of any, I wouldn't say it that we don't like in Detroit. Right. So
The old Miami's a mainstay.
The old Miami too.
Yeah.
Every year we play that show down at the old Miami, and it's just off the hook. Good.
It's
the anti-dally and alley.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And that you gotta go, Chuck. It's just crazy. It's just a good time, and there's a bunch of great bands. We're invited every year, and we love it. It's just punching people in the face everywhere we go.
Well, I got a funny story about Dally and Alley because my stepson went. He was going to Wayne State, and I had a fuck ton of T-shirts that I don't need, and so I had like a Halloween shirt that I gave him. And he went to Dally in the Alley, and he said this big biker guy comes up to him and goes, "Where did you get that shirt?" He's like, "My stepdad gave it to me." He's like, it's fucking cool.
That's awesome. That's what's up.
Yeah, Halloween's been around forever.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Hell yeah. So, I want to know from each of you, and we lost Bob, but I think he's arriving. So
I arrived.
all right.
He's at the table.
He's at the table. Awesome. So I was wanting to know from each of you guys, what is it about punk rock music that speaks to you and inspired you enough to want to go play it and make your own music and play it for other people?
Just once I heard old punk rock from Johnny Thunders and Dolls and all that stuff, man, that was me. It was in my blood from back then. I've been playing bass for a long time, and I love that style. There's nothing I want to play more than punk rock. Nothing. It's like the best thing on the planet for me. It's a release. It's everything.
Awesome. How about Tommy? How about you?
I've also been in the punk scene for a while. I've been in other bands that aren't considered a punk band. However, I kind of like to think that I brought a bit of a punk influence to it.
Mm-hmm.
I like any band that grabs you by the balls, it's hard, fast, tight, in your face,
right.
Throwing on a show, sweating, that's the kind of music I like. So
Cool.
I hope that's a good answer.
Yeah, it's a great answer, man.
Bobby's right over there. We'll let him answer this.
Well, so I actually, before I played for Screw, I was never in a punk band.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, so I grew up with punk, like Rancid and NoFX and so on and so forth. But
yep.
I never really sought it out. So I started playing with Screw, and I was like, this was a chance for me to broaden my drumming. And the thing that I love about punk is that punk is so raw.
Yeah.
And drumming that I'm used to doing is technical drumming. So this is actually a relaxing vacation, is to play punk. Just the only thing I had to learn to do was I was a heavier drummer, so I had to learn how to play fast while maintaining my heavy, because that's how I roll. So
right.
But punk has become more and more in my heart, and I'm embracing newer things because I have these gentlemen that have been seasoned within the punk community to go, hey, check this out. Check that out.
Banger ain't never going back.
You're right.
Once he's played punk with us, he's done. He'll never go. It's over.
It's kind of that way, Chuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know you have a wide variety of music background, but it's kind of that way. It's like, once something like that stylistic, that music that you play, once you get there, it's really, really hard to go back and be in any other different type of music. So
yeah,
it just is what it is. Like I said.
Well, so I came from the heavy metal school. That's where I started, in my journey. Well, actually started listening to Elton John at first, but then moved into Kiss and then got into heavier stuff and metal and played metal for a while. And it was the longest time for I actually listened to any real punk music, because I got into, I think it was, God, I can't remember, but it was Black Flag. I listened to Black Flag and I was like, oh shit, wow, this is fucking crazy. And then
the Brazillos, all kind of good stuff.
Yeah. And then it was, shit, now I'm blanking out on the name of the band, but it was the longest time before I got into punk rock. And it wasn't until I actually saw live punk that I was really it really hit me in it, and I got hooked, because it was like, that's where it is. I mean, you can listen to it, a recording, and you guys do a really great job. Your Smoking Gun album captures some of that live essence. But sometimes, some of those albums, either they're a little flat or they just don't capture what the spirit is. But then when you see it live, you're like, holy crap, this is fucking
right.
Yeah.
We try that in the studio, we want to put that forth, a lot of bands. And again, this isn't a negative comment,
Yep.
but they'll go in and they'll tweak it and they'll this, they'll do that. We always try to play like our album, and a lot of times on stage, you're geeked up and ready to rock, and it even comes across even faster sometimes. So we like that.
Yeah. And I don't know if I asked Kevin what got him into playing punk.
Kevin?
What he likes about it. Yeah.
Kevin, he's asking you a question. He wants to know what you like about being in a punk rock band.
Oh, there
There he is.
Photo bomb. What's up? Finally.
He's like a member of the band. Yes, that's what I like about it. Anyways, so.
Awesome.
What are you drinking, Chuck?
Might be it.
There he is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I've got a Elbow IPA.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I've slowed down to over.
And I saw that Eric put in the chat to ask you guys if you ever jammed with Tuna Can.
Yeah, we're good friends with them. Yeah, very like brothers.
He had us introduced one night with Jimmy Doom at the old Miami. We were doing that annual anti-Valley in the Alley badge. Introduced as Tuna Can, and none of us knew. And it's just kind of stuck in a joking manner after that.
Oh man, I love it.
So we love it.
Man, we're gonna go.
If we ever start a new band, it's going to be called Tuna Can.
For an album, Tuna Can.
All right.
Yeah.
Have another CD, so maybe we can have that. Tuna Can.
Man, that's awesome. So I was curious if you guys can I like to go back and get a little bit of the origin of bands, and I'm wondering if you can tell me about the first time you were on stage and what it is you remember most about that time.
It was actually a EP release party. We got in the basement and worked for about 4 months, recorded and played in downtown Ypsilanti at the tap room.
Yeah.
And that was our first. That was like an EP. We never had a show before then, and the rest is kind of history. It was kind of cool. People were there, and they kept telling us to turn down, and it was all fun.
By the end of the night, they threw us out.
Yeah, didn't expect it. We were kind of unexpected. She kept coming over asking us to turn it down. I'm like, hey, you booked us.
Well, I mean, so seriously, how would you not know if a band named Screw is coming up? Like, what were they thinking?
We're an easy listening band. Are you joking me?
Yeah, we're top 40 or something.
Yeah, we had a CD listening party like the Saturday before that, so they should know.
Yeah. At the tap room in downtown Ypsilanti.
Oh, okay.
Oh man.
They don't do many live shows. I think back in the day they used to.
Yeah.
And they had been far, maybe a year or two removed from it.
Yeah.
So once that happened, I think they were a bit shocked and taken back. So, well, we had fun with it. People showed up, and
Yeah.
it was our first show ever, and we released the CD at the same time. So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So along those kind of origin lines, I'm curious, what was each of yours first concert that you went to?
First concert I ever went to?
Yeah, first concert you ever went to.
Wow. Robin Trower.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Where was that at?
Oh God, that was, I don't know. That was actually, I think Jethro Tull was on that. It was like years ago. It was like 14 at the Silver Dome or something.
Oh,
I don't.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Or 16. I don't know.
1981. Was the first
Oh,
band.
Kevin said Rolling Stones 81 when Iggy was opening for him.
Oh, nice.
I was
That was
actually at that
awesome.
show too. So was Troy.
You're at the before me.
Yeah. When Iggy walked off stage, he got pissed. everybody was booing him and shit. You know, he just kind of walked off, threw his mic over his shoulder and said, thanks, see ya.
Screw it, I'm done.
Black dress. And my Les kept showing everyone his junk.
Yeah. First punk show was Johnny Thunders. It was great.
Oh, really? Awesome.
I don't know if you remember Nuncio's back in the day. It was
No.
Southfield Punk Club.
Like Lincoln Park.
Oh, okay.
Southfield. And saw Johnny Thunders there. What a riot it was. It was so much fun.
Awesome. And
I saw the Ramones when I was
had
16.
a couple of twins there hooked up with. It was so much fun.
Well, too bad the twins were guys.
Yeah.
And Bob, how about you?
Well, I'm a young whippersnapper. I still have hair on my dick. You know, that's like a little puppy. No, I'm joking. So my first, other than my dad, I grew up when my dad was a drummer in a Detroit band. That, when I in the '80s. So other than going to his shows, my first real show was Weird Al in 19.
Wow.
Yeah, at the Ritz.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. So it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. So me and all my friends, we were all into Weird Al. So we all wore Hawaiian shirts.
That explains.
And so his dad took us in the Suburban. We all pile out. We go there and we're like seeing all these people we've never seen before. I'm 11 years old.
Awesome.
He did costume changes. He did sets, and it was the best show I've ever seen in my life.
That's cool.
I have that to live up to. And he played only in the damn Ritz.
Yeah.
So no, it was amazing. That was my first ever show.
Awesome. And that was the Ritz when it was in Roseville, right?
Yep. Yeah, I grew up. I'm a Roseville kid, so I grew up in Roseville.
Awesome. Yeah.
An earlier show back in the day too, I saw Bowie with Iggy. Bowie was on the keyboards and Black opened the show.
It was fun time.
It was their first tour.
See, I don't anything cool like that to fucking do. I mean, they're like, man, I fucking saw Ozzy when he was not so drunk. And I'm like, I saw Weird Al.
Hey, man.
That's why he's so banging on the drums.
That's
man.
right. Weird Al is still
Weird Al fucked him up.
Weird Al is still jamming, man. You guys could still do a tour with him.
Yeah.
Boy, wouldn't that be fun?
I know. Can you imagine?
I would love it.
Yeah, we'd enjoy it. Why not?
Yeah, the Screw It Up.
Weirder.
Yeah, Photo Punk would be there.
Oh,
He
yeah.
would be there at the tour for sure.
Okay, man.
Oh, hell yeah. That would be
He ain't
awesome.
got no choice.
So, what was it? What was the catalyst for each of you guys wanting to play music and go beyond just jamming with friends in a basement or something, but actually get on stage and write your own music and put it out there for other folks to listen to? So let's start with Troy.
Yeah, just from listening to English Beat, the Specials, and I love the bass tones they got. I love playing that style of bass. Sometimes these guys don't get me because they're a little bit younger than me, but that's what I love, and that inspired me so much. I seen the Specials, and it just blew my mind how good it was, how good the bass was, and
Yeah. Cool.
so much fun.
Troy was born to be a bass player.
Yeah, it sounds like it. How about Bob? How about you?
So I played drums because I actually wanted to play bass. I never wanted to fucking play drums. My dad was a guy, the classic drummer.
Yeah.
How do you know a drummer doesn't have a girlfriend? He's homeless. My dad didn't have any. My dad didn't have. It is. So my dad needed a place to store his drums, and I was 13. I want to play drums, or I'm sorry, I want to play bass.
Yeah.
Bass. My mom was like, get him a bass. He's like, well, how about this? You show me that you want to play music. He said, drums and bass are the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Same along the lines. He said, start show me you can play drums, and then I'll buy you a bass. So I started playing drums, and he came and checked, and he's like, no, you're not really trying. Seriously, take it serious. And it was like that. My cousin down the street, he played guitar. We started playing Green Day and Nirvana, and the rest was history. We have a joke. He's like, so do you want a bass still? And I'm like, no, I don't. Drums, I don't have any time for it.
Drums is-
And Tommy, how about you?
Well, I was never good at anything musically, so I figured I might want to be a singer. When I was a kid, I was young. This is going to sound cliche and old school, but I sang a bit in church, believe it or not. And I saw that. If you say you don't have somewhat of an ego or whatever, that's not. I could see the attention that gained, and then there were other periods in my lifetime along the way, like seeing Elvis on TV, seeing just different performers over the years, and that it just kind of hooked me. So I went and took some vocal classes, one session. Wound up walking out of that. And,
I know what the fuck I'm doing. I breathe and sing every day.
So it was kind of, I don't know, but I've always had a somewhat of a lyric, and I like to write music, and that's kind of what I do. I write the lyric, and I try to bring the show and fake like I have a voice. It works.
So, do you feel like you have like the music that you guys make? Is there any particular message that you're trying to get out there other than just have a good time and live your life? Is there anything else that you're trying to convey to folks other than just live life?
Oh, you've really got to listen to a Screw CD, man. Yeah, we have a message in our music. It's not all, some of it's political, some of it's humanitarian aspect, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's a message, and then some of it's about tits and ass. I mean, but it's not all about that. Yeah.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was thinking like a tune like that you have out there, called "Step Off" of your Smoking Gun.
Okay.
That's like my favorite song.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
That's about addiction. It's about addiction and go, not being able to kick a habit.
Yeah.
Continuing to go back into it. It's your friend, as the song says. So there you have it.
Cool. And are you guys working on any doing a new recording?
Yeah, we kind of are now. We got Kevin on board, and
Keith is not
Keith
here.
is not here. We're going to start doing that.
Keith from Choking Susan.
Oh, cool. Awesome.
He's been playing with us as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, we due to the basement, just what I mean. Like some bands, I see, we've written this and we've done that.
Yeah.
Troy and I actually and Kevin formed another band, and we started playing. We played a few shows as the Pandemics.
Yeah,
And then
it was mostly covers, and we had fun for a couple of shows, and then we got right back into the Screw. Now that everybody's vaccinated and good,
Yeah.
so
I was off having babies.
yeah.
Awesome.
Bobby was on hiatus for a while, so
Well, I was only supposed to be on hiatus for a short amount of time, and then COVID hit, and it was like, well, I'll see you in Oz, folks.
right.
Nice.
Now we're back, and we anticipate probably late fall, something like that. Maybe getting back in and recording an EP.
Awesome.
10, 12 songs, CDs. Just for me personally, I don't know how these guys feel. I'm just speaking for me. I just kind of think it's a little bit overplayed, at this point.
Yeah.
Go in and record an EP and have 4 or 5 good songs, and maybe record 6 months later, and that's kind of what I like to do rather than a whole CD.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've seen quite a few bands that just do, they're just doing singles. They're
Well, that's the environment of the music industry and the music scene.
Right.
It's funny. 90s came around and it was like, oh, we're gonna sell nothing but records.
Right.
Singles don't exist anymore unless you've got 3 of them ready to be on MTV.
right.
So after that, now it's all about singles again. It's really funny how music that's how it was like in the the 70s.
It comes right back around.
Right, exactly. So the doing that is it's a far superior way of marketing for us right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like my haircut.
Exactly. That's what I meant to say.
Do 4 or 5 songs that just that's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Are you joking me? If I could do anything, I would play 7 songs. If they're 30 seconds a piece, that's all you get. Want to make them want to come back for more. Call it a day.
Minute 45.
I'm always the one trying to slice fucking songs off. I'm like, no. Like, that'll be
Bob wants to cut the
25-minute set, Bob. See you later.
Oh man.
Like, it's all about being fast.
Yeah, it's when he gets back there and he's got to play 12, 14 songs.
Oh,
and by the
man.
end of the night, he's like, okay. It's pretty strenuous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
by the end of the
Especially
night,
the way he plays.
he's lost 5 pounds easily.
Yeah.
I look like I piss myself every time I'm done.
We don't call it for no reason. So
You know what? It just doesn't make any sense not to hit them hard. That's
Well, yeah. Yeah. I've always thought, I've always admired drummers because, secretly I wanted to be a drummer, but I was never that coordinated. And when I see a drummer that's just tearing it up, it's just like, whew.
Yeah.
well, you have hope because most of us aren't. We're just lucky. Remember where that good hit was.
I mean this in a good way, but every drummer I've ever met is kind of crazy.
Hey, Chuck, if I may interject,
Yeah.
the things I've always noticed and appreciated about Bob's drumming is that at the end of every show, he tends to launch out of his seat. And I don't know if that's just because he's still on a roll and the band has ended, or just because he needs to go into orbit. Hold.
So wait, so Eric, you gotta tell me, like, what is this launch like? He just literally pops out of the drum
On
kit?
his very last note, he will launch out of his seat, and God forbid you get in his way because he's going someplace. We don't know where he's going, but he's.
We don't know where he's
I'll tell you what, when I get up, my body goes exit.
Yes. Notice. It makes for great photos.
There's been a couple of times where he's had to come back because people want
Yeah,
to another song. He's just looking at us like, really? I just there, man. I'm done with this.
There's a snare on the floor.
Obviously, if people want more, we're going to give it to them. So
Yeah. So
that's why they're there.
So Eric, I got a question for you, and that is, how did you? What was it about the band Screw that, like, you said, I love this band, and I want to follow them around and take pictures?
I was following around a different band prior to Screw. I became the personal photographer, if you can call it that, of the band Hit Society. I was enamored by them for quite a while, and then they broke up, and somehow Screw and I crossed paths, and I would believe it would be on a New Year's Eve night with Choking Susan, Duke and the Hellraisers, and one other band was another one of the Culling Caffeine bands. And Screw was there, and I was immediately taken by the band and decided that if I was going to follow any band, that these guys would seem to, give me some good material to photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of became a photographic groupie until, of course, I got to know them more personally, and we became good, close friends. So we've been this way for some time. I think that of all the bands in Detroit that I've gotten to know on a personal level, they're probably my brothers. I
Awesome.
could put it that way. Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Very cool.
Yep.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
That's true.
Yeah. How long have you been photographing Screw? Just trying to think.
Oh gosh, I don't remember the exact date. I'm
We
gonna
started off taking pictures of people's asses. And then
Yeah, with Tommy's ass, I didn't need the wide lens. That's for sure.
Not my ass.
That was probably 2015. 2000.
Yeah, I think that was about 15.
Oh, cool. Very cool. Awesome.
You know, a lot of bands too, they feel the same way. If you're a band and you're working, I don't know one band. I can't name one band right now that wouldn't forget their show. Period. Because they know he's the best at what he does, and they're going to get killer pictures.
Yes.
But that is not why we have him at our show. Like he said, he's a brother,
Yeah.
and and it's a little bit more than that. So.
Right.
But I'll tell you what, he takes the best
Yes,
pictures
he
of
does.
me I've ever had in my whole entire life.
Yeah.
When he's around, I'm like, oh yeah. I ruin it myself and take my fucking shirt off.
It's not easy.
He tries to help me when I take my shirt off, but it's really just difficult to crop me out.
attractive.
Well, Bob, you wouldn't believe how much work it was. Your photos require.
What's that?
Photoshop is your friend.
Photoshop is
Oh,
correct.
yes, good. Slim me down, homie. Slim.
Oh God.
Punk rock.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We love him.
You also have to mention that along with Screw, I've met a lot of other bands, some from out of town, and one in particular that seems to be a great match for any Screw event is Tiger Sax. They seem to bring a certain element that complements Screw quite nicely. And I tell you what, I've gotten some of the best photos when Kelly will come on stage with Tommy or vice versa. Those two have a chemistry that you don't see very often. Those two alone on stage are pretty damn awesome. I can always count on Tommy for at least one circus act, you know. But when
Hey, Joe.
Kelly's on stage with them, yeah, that's magic. I really enjoy that.
Yeah. They didn't. Tiger Sex was at the last show for Tommy's birthday party.
Yeah,
right?
they were in for the birthday bash. You know, they're good friends of ours. It's not we've done probably more shows with them than any other band, and I would guess to say the same for them. So they're a great band. There's a lot of bands we love working with here. Choking Susan is one of them.
Yep.
Here in Detroit, the Hormones, the DPs. You know, there are many bands here in Detroit that we love working with. And it's like we were saying earlier, as cheese balls it sounds, it's a big family. You know, when you have a get together like that, it's just like everybody's there. You know, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. Very cool. Speaking of well, not really speaking of anything, but going back to like origin things, another question I really like to ask, and it's going to be for everybody, including Eric, is what was the first album you bought? So let's start with Tom.
Can I start with that?
Yeah, go.
Okay, the Shocking Blue.
Really?
Yeah, the LP. Yes, I bought that back when, back in the 70s. That was my first LP. And the
Holy
rest was-
cow.
yeah.
That's a great album. Holy shit.
It is. It really is. It stands the test of time.
Yeah.
It was covered. Venus was covered by, one of the girl bands. I can't remember the name right now.
Oh, yeah. The Bangles, maybe?
Perhaps, yes.
Or the Go-Go's.
The Go-Go's?
Yeah.
It could be one of those, but that was one of my favorite bands back in the day. So
Yeah.
Nice.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And I think that wasn't that song on Guardians of the or that what was that Guardians of the Galaxy or whatever? Didn't they play that?
gosh, you got me there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, Tommy, how about you?
Oh wow! You know, to be perfectly honest with you, I really don't know. I don't know the answer to that. Yeah, you're like, wow. I grew up in a household, and I'm the youngest,
Uh-huh.
and I'm no spring chicken at this stage of my career right now. And but I had like all different kind of music around. We had anything from gospel to like old school like Jerry Lee Lewis and all that whole era,
Uh-huh.
the Motown era. I grew up in Southwest Detroit. I don't know. I've never. I've always kind of even before I really got into the punk scene. I've always towards like the bluesy,
Yeah.
rocky stuff. So it probably something, I don't know, maybe a Stones album or something from back in the day.
Right. Cool.
First album. So
Awesome. Troy, how about you?
Yeah, mine was Never Mind the Bullocks, but
Nice.
it was such a great album, man. I must have freaking wore that thing out on me.
You can't mention that album without immediately conjuring up a vision of that album art.
Yeah.
It's so iconic.
Yeah.
It was so much fun back then to listen to that.
Man, that is a classic. Right
back in the day, everyone knew you were a punk. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because back in the day, it was like, metal has always been in the Detroit music scene. And I don't know if you remember this, Chuck, but way back in the day, the two didn't really get along that well. We were booked. Troy and I go back to a band called the Select Four. That's what we started out doing, and we would get booked into shows with people wearing spandex and things of that nature. And we were in combat boots and leather coats, and it really
Playing
didn't.
Sex Pistols
Playing
covers.
cover, and it really didn't gel. It was like they either loved us or they hated us.
Yeah.
As well as the bands that we played with. So it's a lot different now. It's a little bit less,
Now everyone just hates you.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Bob, how about you?
So other than like every album that my parents would buy me, I tell them, hey, I want this, I want that. Actually, the very first album I ever bought was a local band's album, which was called, a lot of people know, Loud House. Do you remember Loud House?
Oh, it sounds
Yeah,
familiar.
I remember the name.
Yeah,
That
so
was with
that was
Vinny
Vinny.
from Spun, right?
Correct.
He was
Yeah.
a Jeff.
Oh, all right.
That was the first. I bought that at record time.
Yeah.
Because what I was doing was I was looking for, my buddy worked at Record Time, and I was looking for something. He's like, he goes, check this band out, because they would play music over, they would select their own album that they wanted to play. He's like, check this band out. And then I found out, Sponge was already, by then I bought that in, it was 94, 95.
Oh, so they were already going.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was my first album. Then after that, it was all mainstream stuff. So.
That's all right. We won't hold it
Yeah,
against you.
Deftones are good.
Yeah. And
Aerosmith rocks.
yeah, is Kevin there?
Yeah.
That's me. Aerosmith rocks.
Oh, all right, cool.
Yeah, Sick as a Dog. I fucking still love that song.
Yeah. Oh, that album is
That record.
fucking awesome. That's
He wants us to cover it.
Yeah.
He still plays it at rehearsal. We tell him, fuck out.
I played it on the way here. It just pops up on my thing.
He gets it in the mood, man.
Yeah,
So it's all
right.
good.
Right on.
Whatever works.
Yeah. So if you guys
Chuck, you have not answered the same question. What was your
my
first album?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. What?
Yeah, so the first album I bought with my own money was Goodbye Yellow Brick Road by Elton John.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I bought that too.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
back.
yeah.
That was when I lived in Detroit, and I was I was in 5th grade, I think, and a friend of mine. So I had this friend Jimmy. I think I mentioned this in another episode or something, but I had this friend Jimmy lived like 3 doors down, and he could sing like Elton John, and I didn't even know what it was, and he's singing it and playing some, and I think he had an older brother that had some of those albums. And I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And then I still remember when I told my parents, I go, I want to get Elton John album. My dad looked at me going, what do you want to do? 'Cause he was just,
Oh, yeah.
he's
Old John's got great old hits, man.
yeah, because he was, into like,
He
Waylon
could throw down
Jennings.
when he wanted
Yeah.
to, too.
Yeah, he was
Right.
like, what the hell is this? But my mom was like, yeah, she was totally into it. But my dad was like, I don't know about this. But then when I got into Kiss, they were all off the, like, what the fuck's going on here? So,
Yeah. I seen him years ago. Well, I've seen Kiss once.
oh,
It was definitely a memorable show. I was actually almost in awe.
yeah.
So I was on some substances at the. I was really like taken back by the fireworks and all the shit going on.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Substances help.
I got something for you real quick. So me being the young boy, so when I was a kid, my cousin used to watch me. He was obsessed with Kiss. So he had that Kiss poster. They had the four faces on it.
Oh, yeah.
The demon was he's going
Yeah.
I used to be so fucking scared of that.
That's
I was
funny.
so scared. So he used to scare me all the time with it, and so I always thought Kiss was fucking. And I also thought the Rolling Stones, their lips was Kiss. Because I was a kid and I didn't know shit.
Oh, you mean the logo?
Yeah. By the way, I was born in 1980, so I'm not that young of a man, but yeah, I thought I'd add that.
Nice.
Everybody's getting trash at Kiss, and I'm fucking scared pissing in my diaper.
Oh, man. So if you guys could play anywhere in the world, where would you go, and who would you like to be on the stage with?
Say that one more time.
So if you could play anywhere in the world, at any stage, any country, where would you go play? Like which city, which country, and who would you like to be on stage with?
Social distortion for me. No more.
And if it's
right.
you can go by individual. If you get, I mean, I'm sure it's not a group consensus, but
Social distortion for me. Just at the Fillmore in Detroit, I'd be happy.
awesome.
I'd die a happy man.
Yeah, that would be fine. Fantastic. Tommy, how about you?
That's a dual. Realistically, I don't care about the venue.
All right.
There's obviously great venues across the country and across the world.
Yeah.
But definitely Iggy,
Oh, cool.
and or Rancid.
Nice.
Put me on a tour with either one of those, and I'm a happy camper, not complaining about shit.
I thought Tommy would say Boys to Men.
Hey, Keith's here now.
Yay.
All right. Hey. So Keith, who would
Crack the
you
beer.
Keith, who would you like to jam with?
Who would you like to jam?
If you could
And
jam,
where?
like play a show anywhere.
Already have.
Oh.
You already did?
Yeah.
Who?
What is it?
Who?
The Who?
Over in England.
Okay.
Oh.
What
All right.
band?
He's been around.
Foxfire, the Exploited. You
No
name it,
shit.
Play over there.
That's bad.
Fantastic.
Did you
He
hear
said
him?
He
Yeah.
played in England with Exploited.
Holy shit. All right.
Foxfire and.
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
shit, play over there.
Oh, he won.
Yeah.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Damn, he came right in and stole that shit, didn't
He
he?
did.
Good girl.
All right. So not to be anticlimactic, but how about Bob? Who would you like to jam
Yeah,
with?
right. Exactly. It was no. Actually, would probably be either
Weird Al Yankovic.
No. No,
Liar.
like Queens of the Stone Age,
Liar
or the Foo
fucker.
Fighters. Like I really love like Nirvana. Any of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
The Red Hot Chili Peppers. I've seen a lot of their shows that they just want to play with a band that has a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Any of those bands that I love, they could be that. But from knowledge, the best show that I've ever played that had the best sound was at St. Andrews Hall.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Papa Roach and Taproot. We opened for them, and it was so if I could go back to that time,
Mhm.
yes, it would
Stage
be,
sound?
yeah, stage sound was fucking amazing. Absolutely the best stage sound
Really?
I've ever, and I played all over the fucking place. That when we played, I felt like my shit was under par for how good that fucking show was.
And how about Kevin?
I already said that. Social distortion at the Fillmore would be fine with me.
Oh, that's right. Sorry.
Great answer. Yeah.
Kevin's playing with me, so.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay,
I
cool.
play with Keith
Kevin's
Lutz.
playing with Keith, so.
My dreams.
There you
My
go.
bucket list is full.
Fucking hormone.
I'm a fake one.
He's a fake hormone.
Right.
I'd have to say Rancid. I'd have to go with Tommy on that. Rancid's like one of my all-time favorite bass players. Matt Freeman is killer.
Yeah.
Just love playing his tunes. I'm still mastering some of his techniques, and he's just fucking out cold good.
Nice.
That's it.
Awesome.
Kapow!
Kapow!
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Fist to the face. Boom. Done.
That's it.
Well, guys, thank you guys so much. I know that Keith just joined, but we're just about out of time. I've got.
He ain't got shit to say anyways.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
well,
Bullshit.
he's going to have to chime in on this last.
He's gonna lie.
There's one more question, very controversial, and that
Oh.
is
My favorite.
pineapple on pizza or no pineapple?
No.
No.
Fuck no.
Nah.
Pineapple, yes. Pizza, yes. Pineapple and pizza, fuck no.
Pineapple's a safe word.
Pizza, no matter what. It's not cockroaches.
All right. I think this is the first time a band has had a hard consensus on fuck pineapples. So
That's funny.
Fuck pineapple.
It's your first punk band. I'm just kidding.
that's true. Now, see, that's what I'm gonna have to do now. I'm gonna have to keep
Punks
track.
don't like pineapple, okay?
It's too sweet. Fuck that.
Oh, awesome.
Like lemons, man. It's gotta be hard.
All right. Well, guys, thanks again for being on Fans with Bands. Can't wait to see you guys live. I know it's been too long for me to be there, so I will definitely make a point to get out and see you guys. So,
Okay, good.
Thank you.
August 14th, we're going to be at the new Dodge down in Hamtramck with the Hormones and the Walking, Talking Toxins. You got to come out.
fuck yeah. Awesome, man.
It's gonna blow up.
Fantastic.
Coming? We'll put you on the guest list.
All right. Well,
You in the wild there, Jack.
all right. There you
Unless you
go.
want to come to Indy,
There you go.
we're
Awesome.
fucking up Indy in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, the 26th are in Indy, so.
26 in Indy. All right, cool. Awesome.
Yep, at the Melody
I
Inn.
trust you.
Very cool.
Join us, Chuck. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
Chuck.
Right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
I hope meeting you. I hope we enjoyed your show too much.
Oh no, it's fantastic, man.
All right.
I love having this show being screwed. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, you just got screwed, Chuck.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah, see ya.
All right. Thanks to Tommy, Troy, Kevin, Bob, Keith, and Eric for joining me on this episode of Fans with Bands. Keep an eye on the Screw Facebook page for upcoming shows. See the show notes for all the details and links. These are tough times for everyone in the creative industries such as music. Your support of live streaming, purchasing music, and merchandise is critical. If you can help out your local artists, please do. If you are in the Michigan area, consider following the Playing in the Detroit Area Tonight Facebook page. It is a place for fans and bands to support each other and share our combined love of music. Thank you all so much for listening. Be sure to hit subscribe on your favorite podcast service to get each and every episode of Fans with Bands. Spread the word by rating the show and leaving a comment. We want to hear what you think. You can keep in touch by following us on social media. This is a Life in Michigan production. Until next time, be well and kick out the jams.